Hello again, everybody. I was having a bit of a chat with Extremely Boring recently, who's a YouTuber I'd highly recommend. She makes very good videos. She did a video on Star Trek, and we were talking about the whole issue of sex in Star Trek. And how Captain Kirk, of course, in the original series, seems to get his end away with, various alien women. And she was talking about how, of course, the problem of him spreading STDs across the galaxy would be quite high, and picking some new ones up and then spreading them around as well would be quite high. And of course, I was pointing out that really, in reality, the idea of humans at all being able to mate with anything from another planet is just absurd. This is one of the weirdest things I find about Star Trek, how all the aliens seem to just be able to interbreed quite happily with each other. They could have kids together, no problems, no medical complications, hardly whatsoever. This is assuming they'd even remotely look similar. I think I ran a video on this a while ago. I think it was called Falsifying Phylogeny, I think it was called, where he talked about this sort of thing, about how, for anything to breed with anything else, it would have to be from the same sort of order, at the very least, the same order of animals. I mean, there is, as I understand it, some sort of species problem on our planet, whereby we can't quite define exactly what a species is. We can get a rough idea, but there are some animals that are of different species that we tend to think of as being a different species anyway, that can interbreed with each other. Of course, there are animals as well, like I think like donkeys and horses can interbreed, but they have sterile offspring, and we call them mules. But that's why I think if on this planet alone we have enough difficulty getting two species to breed, how we could possibly get anything from another planet to breed with anything from this planet is just so far-fetched, because it would have to have come from a completely different form of biological material, basically, a completely different set of genetics. And even if it happened to look similar, how would where would you stick your junk, basically? How would you know where its junk was, or whatever? Would they even have to reproduce sexually? That's another question that I was going to say needs answering. Really doesn't need answering. It just happens to be geeks like me like to think about it. That was the weird thing I was thinking about there. That this whole idea of humans having sex with aliens. I suppose at the time, by coincidence, I happened to catch an episode of Star Trek Enterprise on CBS Action, which was a series I didn't mind. I've not seen all of it, but I actually kind of liked it. I know some people weren't that into it. And it was the one where, I think it was called Precious Cargo, and it was one where Trip ends up on a, spoiler alert by the way if you've not seen it, ends up on a spaceship with a captured alien woman who comes to just look like a human but with a bit of fancy makeup, dots drawn on her or something. And of course there's a tension at first, which eventually they don't get on at first. Eventually the sexual tension gives way, and she was played by that woman who's a model whose name I can't remember. And you thought, yeah, and it's a bit like the earlier Star Treks, where you have these green alien dancing women, and you think, yeah, no, yeah, nice thought, guys, but probably not the reality of life on other planets as we're going to know it. So I just thought that was quite funny. I wondered if anyone else would like to chip in onto this weird discussion. That'd be good. I was going to say, in other science fiction related news, apparently Firefly is coming back, albeit in comic book form. Now there have been some Firefly or Serenity comics before, graphic novels perhaps I should say, but they've been quite good. They've been more to tell sort of in between stories, or to tell backgrounds of characters and things. These will just be, I think, like Firefly episodes were, but done in comic book form. So it's been done by Dark Horse Comics. I think that's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to that, because I think to me Firefly was one of the best, probably the best science fiction series I've ever seen, and I've been watching science fiction for a long time. What I liked about it as well, it sort of it gives you like the gritty, edgy characters of something like Blake 7, but with perhaps the more sort of epic special effects of something like Star Wars. And then of course the whole Western idea, which I think segues pretty nicely into it all. It doesn't feel like it's forced to me. It feels like it sits pretty well with it. So I thought it was really good. And yeah, it lacks things like city aliens, which I think there's also no faster than light travel or teleporting or anything like that. Which, as fun as those things are, there's some of the more far-fetched ideas of science fiction. Yeah, in stark contrast to something like Star Trek, as mentioned before. Yeah, there's no aliens humping aliens or anything like that. Or sorry, humans humping aliens or anything like that. They keep it a little bit more plausible. So yeah, anyway, so if anyone would like to chip in on that incredibly weird subject, by all means do. If you don't want to, I completely understand. Anyway, goodbye.